Hi everyone, welcome to the Epilepsy channel. Today we are going to be doing a makeup routine so you guys will know how I do my makeup, what products I use, and let's get started. If you're not already, feel free to subscribe. Most people who watch my videos are not subscribed. You can always unsubscribe later, and I'd really appreciate it. And also leave a like. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna be taking one of these hair bows. I always put my hair back when I do my makeup. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I put this on. I use my little hair ties to put my hair back, and then I always put this on just to get the hair out of my face, just like this. Yep. So first off, I'll just show you guys pretty much like my skincare routine, what I do before I do my makeup. So every morning, every night, I wash my face with this CeraVe, or CeraVe, however you want to say it, renewing salicylic acid cleanser. Very good, very affordable. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. And then next, I go in with this CeraVe daily moisturizing lotion. Now, when I'm not wearing makeup and I'm just going for like a natural day, I use sunscreen. Always use sunscreen. Sunscreen is such a lifesaver. No matter where you go, even if it's cloudy, wear sunscreen. SPF. I used to always wear Purito Comfy Water. I used to use the Centella one, but then they discontinued everything after like a controversy, I think. So now I got a new one, and it's MD Solar Science. It's supposed to be really good. It feels nice, very moisturizing. I love it. So I always moisturize with my moisturizing lotion before I do my makeup. After that, I go in with some primer. So right here I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So here it is right here. I'm just gonna take it with my finger and then just put little dots on my face like this, spread it around. This primer is really good for priming your skin before you do foundation, as well as making like a barrier between your skin and the makeup. Next step, I take my beauty blender and my foundation, and I go ahead and dot it on my face, and then I blend it out. So right here, this is the beauty blender that I'm using. You don't need any like super expensive beauty blender. This is just one that I got at TJ Maxx, I'm pretty sure, in like a set. Now the foundation that I'm using right here, it is the Maybelline Superstay Activewear in the shade 110 Porcelain. It is so good, long wearing as well. It feels great on the skin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and squeeze about one pump onto there. And then what I do is I take it with my finger and I just dot it on my skin. And then I usually just leave the rest on there, and then I just go in and blend. You wanna make sure when you're blending in the foundation, you wanna make sure that you're bouncing and not like tugging or pulling, because that moves the makeup around and it picks up the makeup rather than actually like spreading it, right? So just do this. Next, for concealer, I'm going in with the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer, and it's the matte finish. This concealer is so good. I'd say it's an exact dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I used to use the Tarte Shape Tape, and I 100% prefer this over. It's way cheaper and feels better, and it's not as drying. And I'm using the shade Fair Warm because I am white. So I just go in, and what I do is I just take it. I first kind of rub it on the side first to get off any like excess, and then I do a little bit under here on my chin, on the forehead. I do it on the sides right here, and then a little bit on the nose, just like that. And then you just go ahead, bounce and blend, just like this. I also bring the concealer over on top of my eyelid a little. You want to be very gentle because the eyelid's a very sensitive place, and you don't want to cause any premature wrinkles or anything. So you always want to be very careful. And I bring it over on the eyelid because my eyelid tends to be a little like veiny, so it helps with covering that a little. Go ahead and do this, just bounce some more. Now sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit extra, then I'll go ahead, I'll take some and I'll put it on the sides over here on my little, how would you say that, my jaw area. Next, I'm gonna go in and hydrate my lips with this Quench Lip Rescue by Tarte in the shade Rose. I always use this. If you watch my Twitch streams, twitch.tv/epilepsy, you've probably seen me put this on my lips because my lips get very chapped when I talk a bunch on stream. So, helps hydrate. Very nice, and it leaves a very sheer color, and it's super pretty, super pretty. Now I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. finishing powder, and it's in the shade 05 or Fair. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take some, shake it onto the top lid, take my brush and just kind of stamp it a little bit, just to evenly put it on the brush a little bit, and I'm gonna tap it, and then just lightly dust it all over my face, just to set my foundation a little bit. And also I add a little bit more on the spots where I know that I get a little bit more oily. And then I go ahead, take a little bit extra, and I just dust it over my eyelids to kind of set the concealer. Once that's done, I just set aside the top teeth for later. You'll see when we go ahead and bake a little bit. Next, I'm going in with blush, and I really love using these Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blushes. I have Ornate, and then I also have Party, which is spelled P-A-A-A-R-T-Y. Wow, very nice. Party is this nice nude color. And then Ornate is this very nice bright pink. So I like taking Ornate, and sometimes I mix it. It depends on the day, really, what I'm feeling. But I'm just gonna go in and I just like lightly brush it on the apples of my cheeks. And then I go in and I take some and I also just dust it on my nose a little bit. Now we're gonna do a bit of nose contouring. So my nose doesn't really need a lot of contouring, but I just like to add it anyways, just cuz. So I go ahead and I'm using the Tarte Tartelette in Bloom, this palette right here. It is an eyeshadow palette, but oh my gosh, they're just so pretty. And I just go in and I take this shade right here. It is called Jet Setter. It's a very nice contouring shade, and I just go ahead and I go ahead and I use it, and I go up along the side of my nose, just like this. Bear with me, I know it looks very unblended. You just go ahead, do a little bit of blending, blend it, very soft, very nice. And you see it's slowly blending in. And you just continue building it up. And then I go ahead, I take some and I put it right up here, under the eyebrows. And then I blend it down. So that's how it looks right now. And then I go ahead, I take some more, and what I do is I put it under my nose right here. I don't know how well you can see, but I put it under my nose and I kind of just do a little bit of like a triangle type deal, right? You just kind of bring it up, and that adds just more definition under. That kind of makes your nose look a little bit smaller. And then I take a very lightly, I take it and I go over the little, kind of like the little, you know, the tip of your nose. I just put it a little bit over, and then you blend up. And then, next, I take the white shade in the palette, and I go ahead and I just highlight the areas that are at the forefront. So I highlight the tip of the nose, and then the bridge of the nose. And I go all the way up. Highlight the tip and the bridge. And then I kind of just leave the palette aside, because I still am going to use it because it has a really pretty highlighter shade. But then, I go in and I use one of these triangle sponges. I take the cap of my setting powder, my finishing powder. I take the cap of my finishing powder, and I go ahead and I just scoop out a little bit, so it's like that. I don't know how well you can see. So you got a little on the top, and then what you do is you bake the sides. So you still want to leave a lot of that contour showing, but you want to bake the sides. And this helps, oh, that was a lot of powder that dropped. This helps make your nose look smaller, brightening the edges while still leaving the contour. And then I go in and I take a little bit more and I do this. You bake, I bake my little, what are these, my smile line areas right here. Because this area right here tends to get a little bit more oily. And then I set it aside again because I'm still going to use it later. Now next, I'm going to go in and do a little bit of highlighting. So I like to use this. This is an Urban Decay brush that I got in a Urban Decay palette like a long time ago. I just use that, and I use my Tarte palette, and I go in with the shade Funny Girl, which is a nice shimmer shade. I go in and I highlight the tip of the nose very lightly. Tip of the nose, and then I do a little bit on the bridge. I do the bridge of the nose a little bit. And then right here. And then I go ahead, I take some, put it on the inner corner. Right below my eyebrow. Like that. And then I take some and I put it on my Cupid's bow. Now I like to go in and do a little bit of eyeshadow before I go ahead and do my eyeliner. So once again, taking the Tartelette palette, and I'm feeling a little bit more of like a smoky vibe, more still nude. So sometimes I'll go for a more nude vibe, and then sometimes I'll go for a more pinky vibe. I'm feeling more nude vibe, so I'm gonna go in again with the Jet Setter shade that I used on my contour, and I'm just gonna place it out on the edge of my eye, bring it up a little. And you just want to slightly blend it. You do not want to pick up a bunch of the pigment, because then that's when it becomes patchy and hard to blend. So very lightly, and you see, that's how it looks. And then I like to go in with a transition shade to bring it up. So I'm going to go in with the shade Flower Child. It is this very nice pale nude right here. And I just go in and I bring it up, all the way up. And I smoke it out a little. And then now I'm gonna go in and take a little bit of these darker shades right here. I have Smoke Show and Activist. I'm gonna go in with Smoke Show just a little bit because these shades are very, very pigmented. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit and just go on the very outer edge and bring it in slightly. And just like that. And now, because I want to add just a little bit of pink, I'm going to go in with the shade Sweetheart. It's like a nude, but with a lot more pink undertones. So I'm going to take that and use it kind of as another transition shade just to bring it up, just to give it that more pink. And that's how it looks. That's how it looks. And then now I'm just going to do it onto the other eye, and I'll see you guys when that's done. So now that that is done, I'm going to go ahead and start my eyeliner. So I like to use the e.l.f. eyeliner right here. It is in Jet Black, right here. I love this eyeliner. It's super cheap, drugstore, and it's also very good, very easy to apply, and stays, very long wear. So I just like to go ahead and I wipe off the excess, so I'm not working with a whole like glob. And I go in, and first what I do is I take it on the very edge, just like this, and I just draw it out. Like this. And then once that's done, I take it again, get more of the liquid on, and then I go ahead and I bring it out. So I like to see where I want it to go, whether I want a more like upwards angle, if I want a more outwards, really depends. I do this and then I go. And then as you get to the very edge, you just want to lightly bring up your hand. Just lightly lift off. So it gives you a very nice ending. Sharp point. Very nice. Sharp point. Super nice. And then you just go in and you take it over here and you just fill it in. Just like that. Fill it in. Fill it in. Hopefully I'm on camera. Now once that is done, I'm just going to do it on the other side now. Next, it's time for eyelashes, and I love these. These are the Eylure Luxe Silk Marquise Silk Effect eyelashes. I got these from Ulta near me, and they look like this. I just stuck them on my fingers. So I just go in and I take the Strip Lash Adhesive by Lash Couture, and I apply it to the band of the lash. And then you wait a second, wait for it to get tacky. Just dry her a little bit, blow on her, throw it around, get her a little bit tacky before you put her on. Now I'm just gonna go on and carefully apply using a mirror that I have right here, just like that. You just wanna put it right above your lash line, and then you go ahead and do the other set. Now that we got the lashes down, I like to go in again with the eyeliner, and I take it and I go into the very inner corner, and you just carefully make like a little line to bring down the inner corner of the lash to meet your natural inner corner. It kind of just, it makes the lashes look a little bit more natural, even if they're not natural. It just makes it look a little bit more connected to you. Now I go in with my eyebrows. I like to do my eyebrows near the end because of all the powder and the foundation. It gets on the eyebrows, so then I'm able to, at the end, able to comb through them and get all of that off for the most part. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taking this e.l.f. brow pencil. It has a spoolie and a brow pencil pomade type thing at the end. In the shade, this is neutral brown. So I'm just taking the spoolie, running it through my brows, getting out all that powder, the foundation, whatever might have gotten in there. And I do the same to both sides. And then what I do is I go ahead and I fill in the very bottom in the innermost part of my eyebrow very lightly. So I'm just making it sharp at the bottom of my eyebrow just to give it a little more definition. And then I've always had like this little patch of no hairs at the top of my left eyebrow right here. It'll probably show right on the camera, but it's on the top of my left eyebrow. I've always had like a little patch where there's just no hairs. So I just fill it in a little bit, just like that. And then once that's done, I either take my e.l.f. brow gel or my Essence Lash and Brow Gel, and I go in and I just tame them just like this. Go from the front and start working the way to the back, just like this. Just holds them, it really just holds them in place so they don't move. I like to have the really fluffy part up in the front, have it go up, and then bring down. Now sometimes if I'm feeling it, I will add this NYX waterline pencil. It's a nice teal shade. I will either add this in my waterline or I might add drawn on lashes on the bottom with my e.l.f. liner. Sometimes I will take my NYX white liner and do that in the waterline so it makes my eyes a little bit more open. Sometimes I do that, but on my natural days I usually don't. It's usually just if I'm feeling it. But what I like to do is I like to take my NYX white liner and I take this little brush right here. I go ahead and I scrape a little bit out. And what I like to do is I like to take it and just put it lightly in my inner corner. Now once that is done, I like to go ahead and do my lips, and usually for my lips I just do whatever I'm feeling, but when I like to line my lips before I actually put on any type of lipstick or anything, so I either use my Kylie Jenner lip liner in the shade Kylie, I think. I'm gonna be honest, I think it's literally just in the shade Kylie. Or if I want a more softer look, I like to use this Nude Sticks gel color lip and cheek balm. And I just go ahead and I do this, and then you just blend it. I like to just blend it out with my finger, and then sometimes I will just go ahead and take my Kylie lip liner, add a little bit more definition. Now once that is done, I like to go in with a lip color. So I usually like to use either my Kylie matte liquid lipstick in the shade Kylie, goes along with my lip liner, or I will take one of my Fenty lipsticks. This is in the shade Mademoiselle. It's a very, very pretty plum shade. Very, very beautiful. I have this one, and then I also have a nude color. This is really pretty when you want to go for a more berry shade on the inner part of your lips. So I like to go like that, just do a little bit, and then I blot it around by doing this. And then look, you got a little, almost like a gradient. And then I will go ahead and take my Kylie liquid lipstick. This is very matte, so I like to do it over my lip balm. Dot it. And then do this. Now I'm gonna go in with a little bit more highlighter. So I already used my powder highlighter, but I have this Benefit What's Up little like cream stick highlighter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take that, and I like to use it on the very top of my cheeks, just like this, very, very lightly, just putting on, just dabbing it on. And then in the middle I'll go a little bit harder, and I will just tap that out, just like that. Now once that's done, and now you have a very nice and beautiful shimmer on the sides of your face, I like to go ahead and go in with my e.l.f. Liquid eyeshadow or a Stila liquid eyeshadow. These are just really pretty, nice toppers that I like to use on my eyes or sometimes just to highlight. So the Stila one is in the shade Little White Lies, and the e.l.f. one is in the shade Disco Queen. So I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Disco Queen because I'm really feeling that super bright, rainbowy type vibe right now. So I just go ahead and I use a little bit on my nose, on the tip, on the bridge, like that. And I go ahead, I put a little on the inner corners as well. Take some on Cupid bow. And then on the top of under my eyebrow, right here. Now our last thing to do before any setting spray or anything, if I do happen to use setting spray, is you go ahead and wipe off the bake that we put. You just very gently wipe it all off, just like this. Wipe it off, and you can see the clear, because the powder is about a little bit lighter than my actual skin tone. It easily brightens up the areas that I put it. Now, very last step, if I ever happen to use it, I usually use this when I'm going out, very long days outside. I have the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. This stuff is so good. This is my travel size that I had when I'm traveling around. I had a large size, the big full size, but I used it all. So if I do happen to use setting spray on the days that I do, basically I just take it, do a little bit of spray, get it all over the face, and then what I do is I take my beauty blender and I just tap it into the skin to let it, you really want to tap it to get it to soak into the foundation because that's what makes it stay longer. Alright guys, and I think that is the end of my makeup routine. I will try to link everything that I use down below in the description if you guys want to go check it out. And also, I'm gonna link in the description my Twitch if you guys want to go check that out. I do daily, sometimes daily, every other day streams around 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you guys want to go ahead and watch me there, you'll probably see me over there streaming. If you guys have any other video recommendations that you'd like to see, feel free to leave them, drop it in the comment section. Tell me what you think about the video, how you guys like everything. Once again, make sure you drop a like. Feel free to subscribe, it's free and you can always unsubscribe later and it really helps the channel out. And now I'm gonna insert some cool pictures of the fit and the lovely makeup that we did here today.